My name is Gülsün Sağlamer. I'm an architect by education and a professor in architecture at Istanbul Technical University. I served as the first female vice rector and the first female rector at my university. At present, I am the president of the European Women Rectors Association, EWORA. Well, starting from my childhood, I have had a great interest in making models for houses and designing buildings and so on. But on the other hand, throughout my K-12 education, my favorite courses were mathematics and science courses. Even at a young age, my dream was to become an architect. In order to combine my dreams with my abilities in math and sciences, I decided to pursue a degree in architecture and to attend Istanbul Technical University. That's how I became engaged in STEM and art together. In the course of my education and career years, the first challenge I encountered was to be accepted to the ITU Faculty of Architecture to study architecture. At the end, my dream came true. Throughout my undergrad years, my goal always had been to graduate and practice architecture in the field. However, towards the end of my studies, my supervisors encouraged me to stay at the university to do a PhD. That's how I entered the academic life, learning, teaching, doing research, unlearning, relearning, teaching again. This has been a fascinating lifestyle for me. I loved academia, but I never forgot about my dreams to design and construct buildings. I worked with groups, I led educational programs, courses, research projects, supervised master and PhD students, and also had a chance to lead architectural design projects that brought us several architectural prizes. I learned a lot from my colleagues, my students, and from my mistakes. As my academic career matured, I noticed that beyond my skills in my profession, the university was also developing my leadership skills by opening doors and giving me opportunities to affect positive change in my department. As my career progressed, I found myself serving as the Associate Dean of the faculty. I had even on occasion dreamed about becoming the dean one day. What I wasn't dreaming about was becoming the rector of my university. The reason may be that all the rectors were male around us, but our faculty had a very successful female dean in 1970s. Daily discussions with my peers revolved around restructuring education and research in the department, and we were also very critical about the traditional educational systems in place. In 1992, a new process for the appointment of university rectors was put in place, one that relied in a democratic-style election held amongst all faculty. In 1992, the first elected and appointed rector asked me to be a vice rector in charge of research, investments, and international relations. I accepted to be the first woman vice rector of ITU with great pleasure. In the next election, my colleagues proposed and supported my candidacy to the rector position at ITU. We prepared a comprehensive strategic plan for the coming 4-year period to realize extensive reforms. I competed with 10 male colleagues for the rector position, and I was elected with the majority of the votes. I think that's the highlight of my life, to be the first woman rector of Istanbul Technical University in its 223 years of history, and be able to work with outstanding colleagues, alumni, and all stakeholders of the university to realize comprehensive reforms in 8 years. My generation was brought up in an extremely secular environment, and girls had equal rights with boys throughout my educational years. At the moment in my university, as a technical university, female students are forming 34% of the total student population, and 37% of full professors are female. In graduation, majority of prizes go to female graduates. I think studies in STEM should be more attractive than ever for all young people, as our planet has a series of very tangible scientific and engineering problems that need very tangible solutions that will contribute to bettering the life of our species and others alike on this planet. I've always observed that girls are as successful as boys in STEM areas, sometimes more dedicated, more engaged. Therefore, if work-life balance conditions become more friendly for women in career years, and if we really take serious steps to deal with implicit bias, then their success stories will continue flourishing. Since the Rome Treaty, EU has been so engaged and dedicated to create better environment for women in higher education and research. And there have been tremendous development in terms of representation of women in all segments of study and research areas. These policies should be continued with more powerful instruments to achieve the targets that EU has been heading towards in a sustained and perhaps even growing speed. The real challenge lies at establishing and maintaining gender balance in decision-making positions throughout our society as well as in academia. Despite all the progress since 1970s, unconscious biases at a personal, institutional, and governmental level still continue to present barriers for women who are intending to reach top levels, to be project coordinators, to lead big and important research projects, etc. There have been remarkable achievements to tackle with implicit bias in the evaluation process of the EU project proposals. These efforts should continue and should be closely monitored. The same gender imbalance is also present in the distribution of awards and prizes worldwide. Women are recognized less for their achievements, and this prevents women scientists from being more visible, which means they don't get to serve as role models for students just entering the STEM disciplines. European Women Rectors Association EWORA aims to develop strategies and policies that will encourage women academics to target leadership positions, to create opportunities for increasing women's representation in higher education and research, be proposed to decision makers at institutional, national, and European levels. Thank you.